Hello everybody, this is Jesse with J.FINESSE Flights, and today I'm bringing the TransTek 218mm frame. This I think is called the light version. They make two different versions. One is a solid plate, no detachable arms. This one here I think is called the light, but if I'm not mistaken it's a little bit heavier than the other version with the solid plate. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, of course there's a aircraft flying overhead as I'm making this video, which sorry about that. Yeah, this guy, I was kind of impressed with this carbon and a few different key features about this quad frame. One of them was the price. Okay, I found it on GearBest for $14.60. So I think, yeah, $14.60 on GearBest. It was on sale, of course. It's back up to like $30, $29 and some change, but come with some extra carbon stuff also, like whatever this thing is. I'm not real sure what this is for exactly, but there's another one that's shaped more like a U. It's quite thick too. It looks like the same material they cut from the arms, which are 4mm, I believe. Let's break out the calipers and take a measurement, zero them out. Okay, you see I'm kind of doing this off of my phone, so bear with me. I'm holding my phone and trying to get a measurement. 4.19, I don't know if you guys can see that. 420, 418. I'm kind of pushing on them. It's durable. Let's try another arm. This is another arm. 413, 415. Let's try this top arm, see what it's coming in at. 394. Not real consistent. But you know, I'm sure there's a batch of arms that these guys grab and pick from. 418, all in all pretty close. That one's a little off a little bit. Let's see if you guys don't know already. I know this is an old frame. You know, nothing new here. I just wanted to talk about a couple things. It's coming in at 2mm. The sandwich plate, it was 2. I got it at a funny angle. Okay, 1.75. I know this is not a new frame to the FPV market, but what I wanted to talk about was I have another frame over here, for instance. This is another budget frame. This is the old school QAV-R knockoff from Real ACC or Real AC, whatever you guys want to call it. It's the knockoff QAV-R. But the carbon, look at the difference in the carbon here. I don't know, let me see if I can get it to lay down here so everybody can see this. Okay, not as easy as I thought it was going to be with the lighting out here. You can see how big and fat the weaves are on the Real ACC QAV knockoff. The weave is quite fat, you know, it's real thick. The weave on this, it just looks like little dots. Well, this TransTek, it is very, very rigid frame. This guy is not so rigid at all. It bends, and you know, you're probably not going to be able to see it, but if I bend on it, of course my phone is not gonna focus, of course. Yeah, you can't really tell. I'm sorry you can't tell, but man, it bends so easy. Okay, this one is not like that. This is how hard that sounds. That's plastic. That's stupid. You can't tell nothing by that. But anyway, now this one, this is an original QAV-XS from LUMENIER. Okay, this is what I did was I bought the base plate and then I bought the pod separate, because you can buy the base plate and the pods. So instead of getting all the top carbon like this one, which by the way, this real ACC top fits on that. It fits quite well too. I took it off and tried it. I had to know. So if you are wanting the top plate for a QAV-XS, or probably just the regular QAV-X, that fits it. Okay, fits right in, no problems. But I went with the pod on this one, and just for aerodynamics, it is a little heavier than the top for this one. Okay, this one is a little bit lighter, but it's not as aerodynamic either. You got to take in mind airfoil and all that crap. You know, I'm assuming anything rounder is going to be better, even if it does weigh a couple grams more. But back to my point is the carbon fiber on this $80 quad, okay, and the carbon fiber on this $15 quad. You tell me the difference in the carbon on these two quads. I want you guys to see this for yourself. See if I can get them close enough here and get it to zoom. Look at that. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Yeah, not much difference at all. Yeah, I would almost swear that these two came from the same sheet of carbon. They are identical. Identical carbon fiber. So this one, this is $80 carbon, you know, well, $44 for just the base plate, but the whole quad's $85. This one is $15 carbon. Can you tell a difference in just looking at that? No, there is hardly any difference at all. And I really wanted to show everybody this. If you haven't noticed, or if you don't have an expensive frame already, it's good carbon, okay? That's my point. It's really, really good carbon fiber out of this cheap budget frame. Now there is a downside to this frame. What I'm gonna do probably is skin this one, skin it like a cat, put all of the guts on this one, because I want to really do some hard crashes with this one here, because these screws, the bolts that go through the sides of this arm, I mean, look how close they are to the edge of the frame. I mean, that is super close to the edge of that frame. Alright, and I did some measurements, and I didn't like the conclusion to these measurements at all. Okay, what I done was, now this isn't accurate at all, but I measured it before, and I got, it was like 1.3 millimeters, 1.2, yeah, it's like 1.2 millimeters. Look at that. Okay, 1.2 millimeters of carbon from the hole to the edge of that arm is all there is. I don't like it at all. That does not make a happy FPV frame or an FPV flyer. I don't know why they done it like that. Yes, it is sandwiched. It's in there. One of them isn't so bad. I think 2 of them per arm is pretty close to the edge, but 1.2 was the closest, and that's the 4 that go around the outside of this frame. That scares the hell out of me. It just does. And I actually thought about, on the 2 front arms, taking my carbide bits and popping a hole in the center of each arm just to keep it from breaking. And I still might do that. You know, just like it sits, taking it, putting it in a vise, and I have a drill press, and just whopping 2 holes in there and running 2 more pieces of hardware. Adds weight, but I don't care. You know, as you can see, I put some washers on also. I know those are nylock nuts, but I did it on some of these too. I like to have had a little bit bigger washer to make a little bit more, to cover a little more ground, but whatever. But all in all, I'm pretty impressed with this guy for the price. Like I said, this is nothing new. This frame has been around, but TransTek in general, I've been looking, and their frames, they are running some top-notch carbon fiber on their frames. So it's worth looking into if you guys not wanting to spend a whole bunch of money on something that's, you know, likely to break if you fly pretty hard. I've been starting to fly harder and harder. You know, every day I get a little bit better, and as you get better, you know, you get faster. So, and as the faster you go, the harder you hit. So let's go ahead and break out the eyes here and get some weight on this and see what we get. Let's tear it out. What is going on? Oh, I must have been touching it. Sorry about that. I was touching it. Tear. Let's set it on there. Make sure all our 4 bolts are in on the pad. We're good. Weighing at 108.2. 108.2. It's bouncing on 3. 108.2. That's 3 times a charm. Not bad, you know. And this one here, fully decked out with F60 motors, which I was impressed with this guy. With those F60s, I could have went with a lot lighter motor. It's 332. Could have went with a 2204 on this frame, I think. Really a 2205, but you could probably get away with a good 2204 and would have had plenty of power. But it comes in at 332 with the pod, and this one just has the 2205s with the S bells, not S motors. They're just the bells. Let's see, make sure it's all on there, nothing touching. It's coming in at 345 grams without the packs. So there you go. That gives you an idea. But I'm not sure what these frames weighed. I can't remember. I know I weighed them 10 times before I built them, but I don't remember what they weighed before I built them. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the frame review. Like I said, you know, it's nothing new, but I just wanted to point out the carbon fiber that TransTek is using on their quads. Man, it's top-notch stuff. So get them while they're cheap, before they realize they've got some good carbon and something good going for them, and they start raising the prices. So thank you. Thanks for watching. Have fun flying.